Hello everyone, this is Dr. Abdullal. Today I'm glad to talk about isometric drawings, and this is one of the important topics in AutoCAD. Isometric drawings, we need to complete two projects. The first project is the one on the screen, and I will make it in this video. The second video, I'll make this project, which is the flanged coupling. So stay with me to complete in this video the first project, and be sure to watch the second project. So let's get started. So let's start by opening AutoCAD. We start with a blank drawing, and I'm using now 2022, but if you're using any other versions, that's fine too. And at the beginning, let's study the drawing carefully, see all the lines. We need to draw some lines and some circles. In isometric, we have another way. It's not really the same circle, so we need to use iso circles. And we need to change the snap mode and the snap setting. So at the beginning, let's change the snap setting and the grid setting. So go down to snap mode. We're gonna turn on the snap mode and the grid mode, and we need to change the setting. So click on this little arrow, go to snap setting. We will make a snap on and the grid on. The space, the X spacing 0.25, and we need to turn on the 2D model space under the display dotted grid N. So make sure it is on as well. So we have a snap on, grid on, and the 2D model. We have the grid spacing 0.5, and the Y spacing as well. Let's click OK. Okay, so we changed that to the dotted grid mode. Now, after that, we need to click on the isometric drafting, which make the isoplane off on. So let's click on it, and that will turn the isometric mode. Now, from this little arrow, you see that we have three isoplanes: the isoplane left, top, and right. For the first exercise, I'm gonna choose 3 or 4 to draw on this exercise. Then I let you do the rest similar way. So let's start by drawing the isometric right. Okay. And here you go. This is the exercise that we're trying to do. As you see here, this is the right isoplane right, and this is left, and this is top. Similar here, right, left, and this is top. So if you are drawing this circle, this is supposed to be on the left isoplane. This side is on the right isoplane. If you're drawing this circle on the left, however, this one should be on the top. So you need to decide which isoplane to move on and turn on the correct isoplane. So let's start drawing the first one on the left, on the top left side. And we will start by clicking on the line, and make sure you do have the isoplane right to start with that. Now make line, pick a point, then go to right side. You need to go, and you're following the snap mode. Okay, so here 4, 1, and 1. Okay, hit enter to finish that part. Now you can use zoom in, pan, and just feel comfortable with the ways you have. Start the line or enter again, pick the point, and now we do have 4. So pick that point. If you do anything wrong, you enter to undo, then pick the correct point, down, down. Hit enter to finish selecting, then enter again to start the line mode one more time, and just pick the point. Now we need to draw the circle here. The circle with the isometric should be an iso circle. Go to the ellipse command on the draw panel, then choose axis end. Down here you click on ISO circle or I enter, then specify center of the ISO circle. The center is the point in the middle, so you pick on it. Now you see here it doesn't look good, and that's because we need to change the isoplane. So go back, and now we need to pick the isoplane left. Also, you can change the isoplane by pressing the F5 button. Now here you go. Now we are on the correct isoplane. Click the other point, and here you go. Now you can use copy with the isoplane. Copy from the modify panel. Click the circle, enter. Pick the center of the circle and copy it to the other center. Just follow the lines to make the directions correctly. Now hit the escape button to finish. We will trim. Here we need to do some trimming to trim the part of the circle behind. We don't need that. So TR enter, or from the modify panel, you can find trim over there. Okay. Then cutting edges. This circle is the cutting edge. Then enter. Then you trim the rest of the circle, and here you go. This is the first one. Let's do one more, the one next to that. Do it the same way. Remember, in isometric you can also move. Okay, you can do all the things you do with a 2D model. Now let's start with line command to draw the one on the top right corner. Okay. Make sure you are following the grids and the snap. Now hit enter again to start another one. Okay. Now whenever you need to trim or delete, you can do that easily. So if I'm going from there, you can pick this point. You can continue with the same lines, or you can just stop it and use another lines. That is up to you. So here you just get the lines on the top, and here we have a little square. Okay, then another line. You can repeat enter to draw the line, and here we have. Okay, so let's get another lines from there with two of them. So remember that you always can do some trimming and some deleting as well. So keep drawing the lines, following the snap, enter, another enter to repeat the same command. And here you go, just following the points. Okay. Now here we do have two circles. Let's draw the circles on the top. To draw the circles, go to the same way that we did with the previous ones. So click on axis end, then ISO circles. Now we need to get to the shape again. And here we need to pick the middle point. Then we need to choose the correct isoplane. So either you click on F5 or make it top. Okay, here you go. You can repeat drawing the circle or copy and pick the point from center to center. Okay, now let's see if we miss anything. We have a line down here. Okay, also we need to trim this line. Okay, so I think that is all for this part. Let's make the part right under this with the arcs, just to practice more how to make circles. Again, you start with a line. Let me zoom a little bit in. Okay, so let's start drawing the lines down following the grids, and then another line from this point. We need to go up 4, enter. Now let's copy these 2 lines, enter, and from this point we need to go 2, 3. So here you go, you just put it on the correct place. Also we can let's count if we are correct. Okay, now from here we need to have another line. We can copy this line from the point. Okay, from this point till the end. Here you go. So we finish that part. We can go and draw the arc. Let me just move this drawing a little bit so they will not overlap. Okay, now let's move on to the next step. Here we need to draw this arc again from the axis and isocircle. And now what plane we have? Let's make sure we are on the left plane. And now we need to specify center, and here's the end. Let's make trimming. If you need to get the cutting edges, you can choose these 2. So cutting edges, this and this, enter, and here you go. So we finish that part. Now we need to copy. Let's make copy arc from this point to the point after, but be careful here that you're using the correct direction. Now let's draw a line from the down here to, let me zoom in. Okay, now we need to complete this other part, and we will draw lines on the top. So let's go to line command, L enter, draw L enter, and then get the point from down here. Let's go up 1 point, enter, another enter to get the same line command, pick the point, enter, enter. Now we need to draw the arc underneath, so do the same axis and isocircle. Okay, and the center is this point. Pick the correct point. Now enter to finish. Here we need to do some trimming, and we need to copy. So let's make a copy at the beginning. Or let's trim the circle first. I'm gonna trim that part. Then we will do copy from this point to this point. Now we're gonna make a line from the end point and up. Now this one we don't need it anymore, so we can delete it. And here we just need that part. We cannot see the arc from inside, so it's not necessary to have it. Now let's have the circle over there the same way, axis end, and here's the circle. The center of the circle is that point. Click on it. Now click on the other diameter. This one we need also to copy it because there is a little part coming from that. So let's make copy circle, enter, and this point to this point, enter. Now we need to do trimming, TR, enter. Cutting edges is this circle, enter, then you trim the part. Here we need to draw a line, and for this one I recommend having the object snap on. So let's turn on the object snap and click on this little arrow. Make sure you have the quadrant and the tangent. Now start the line command, L enter. Let's pick the points. Okay. Now we do some trimming here, TR enter, and we can just trim the lines and the arcs. So we've done this one. I'm gonna do one more, which is the one that has circles on the top. Let me see. So for this one, let's start a line command. So L enter, or just line, pick a point, and here you need to start. We have 4. So 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. And then we need to get this point. Then we need to go up. And this one is, let's get up 1 point. Then we need to go left and close. Also, we have to the other side. And here we have 5 points. Okay, now let's get the other side line. Okay, now we need to get the circles on the top, and this is the main thing here that I need to talk about. We need to move on to the top, isoplane top, and here you need to draw the circle this way. The first thing, we need to use the axis end, and then the iso circle, and here pick the middle point, then the other snap point. So this is the first one. Now we need to copy the rest of the circles, so we need to create another one. Copy circle, enter, pick the center, and we need to go vertically. So make sure you are going vertically and choosing the correct points. Now enter. We created this one. Now we need to make some trimming and draw the lines here. TR, enter. The cutting edge, let's use cutting edge, and this is the cutting edge as you see here. So the cutting edge is this circle, enter. Then you need to cut, trim these parts, enter. So we have these 2 circles. Now we need to draw the lines, the vertical lines. So line, if you have the object snap on, you have the quadrant. So you need to pick the quadrant points. Okay, so here you go. If it's interrupt with the snap, you can just turn the snap off a little bit, enter, pick the other quadrant. Okay, now let's trim, TR, enter, and I need to trim these little parts here. You can get the snap back, and here you go. Now what we need here to create the circle inside, we're gonna create it the same way. So axis end, iso circle, be sure that we are on the isoplane top, pick the center, and here we need this one to be smaller. So here you go. Now I need to copy this circle down. So you go to copy the circle, enter, from center, and make sure it is down to vertically. Okay, now enter. Let's trim, TR, enter, or get the trim from the modify panel. Now we need to trim this one. So this is the cutting edge, enter, and we need to trim the rest of the circles. Okay, so click on that, enter. So here you go to finish that part. Now here I think the line should be halfway, so we need to go halfway between these lines. Okay, because it looks like half of the snap, and then we can delete this part. You can modify the lines by trimming or by using the grips, whatever is easier for you. Let's do trimming. Okay, so I can use trim or modify with the grips. Okay, so for this exercise, we finished 4 parts. You can complete the other 2 or 3 parts the same way by using the lines. Make sure you have the isoplane, the correct one. You use the snap correctly. You can turn off and on the snap just according to your need. Use the object snap as well, just to get it. If you need the dynamic input, that's fine. Also, you can turn it on and off.
I hope you have enjoyed this video and you've gained new skills. Also, please be sure to watch the second video about drawing 11.4. Thank you for watching, and this is Dr. Abdul.